Hi there, my name is Maegan Scott, and I am here to talk with you about emergent strategy, change management, and racial equity. Emergent strategy basically is an approach, is a mindset or a way of life that centers relationship, that focuses on connection to others, to yourself, to the natural world, and that requires mindfulness. The first is developing a profound awareness of yourself and awareness of others. There is a concept in organization development, which, if you haven't figured out already, is where I have my academic training. There's a concept called self as instruments. And basically, what this means is that the greatest tool that you have that you can bring to any change process or really anything in life is yourself, is using yourself as an instrument of change. And so what does it look like to refine that instrument, to practice it, to know it well? What does it mean to do that so that you can do your best work, you can be the most effective you can be? Emergent strategy requires you to have a strong understanding of yourself and your triggers. The second thought that I'd like to share with you is the notion that small change leads to sustainable change. So if you know me, again, you know that I am a really big nerd when it comes to chaos theory, complexity theory, fractals. So fractal, basically, if you think about a triangle, it's made up of many, many triangles. If you think about a head of broccoli, it's made up of many broccoli florets that mimic the same shape and structure as the larger head of broccoli. Human interaction, human behavior is no different than the patterns that we see in the natural world. So if you understand the mindset, the behavior between individuals at that small scale, then you understand the pattern of behavior and thinking that's happening at the larger scale. So focus small. As Adrienne Marie Brown might say, small is all. And as I'm telling you, small change leads to sustainable change. The third and final thought is around mindfulness, choicefulness, and presence. Viktor Frankl, who is a Holocaust survivor and a prolific author, gave us the formula of between stimulus and response, there is a space. And in that space lies choice. And where there is choice, there is freedom. And so my question for you is, what can you do to expand that space between stimulus and response? What can you do to minimize your reactivity so that you can expand the number of choices that you have? Because the work that we do in racial equity is urgent, because we cannot stand for the injustices that we see around us, there is a tendency and there is a desire to rush our racial equity practices, to rush our racial equity initiatives. What I submit to you is that we do ourselves a disservice when we operate in this way. So what can you do to slow the process down, to embed moments of reflection so that you can expand your choices, so that you can pivot strategies in the moment as you need to, as it's required? Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space, there lies freedom. In that space, we'll find collective liberation. That's what I have for you. If you'd like to learn more about techniques about emergent strategy, or if you just want to nerd out on chaos and complexity theory, feel free to reach out to me on our website, wayfindingpartners.com. Take care, be well.